Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our DBCC Zoom meeting. Today is Friday, September 24th, 2021, and I'm your host and president of the Deerfield Beach Computer Club since 2005, and my name is Barry Cowan. Assisting me today will be Carol Freedman, our vice president, and Bob Gastisha as co-host. We will also have the presenters as co-hosts, and who they are will be revealed shortly. Well, a lot's happened since we last met on September 3rd. It's almost impossible to record all this and say about it, but I'll be very brief. First of all, our reservation was submitted and approved to begin live classes. The date is supposed to be November 5th. That has not yet been confirmed. That also depends upon the situations of the COVID variant, the Delta variant in Century Village, and any other things that would preclude us from entering the building safely. And until that has been verified, we do not know. But if you want to find out, just look at the member news section under our trending now on the homepage, and that's where we post information there about the status of our returning to live classes. Well, we last met on September 3rd. Since then, on September 11th, we had the 20th anniversary of 9/11. My 78th birthday on that Sunday, September 12th, which is a terrible way to mark my birthday, having 9/11 the day before it. We've had Rosh Hashanah. We have had Yom Kippur. On September 14th, Apple made an amazing announcement of all the new iPhone 13s, new iPad mini, et cetera, announced the Apple Watch, but that won't be available till later in the fall because of certain features. So that's the only thing that will be withheld. But it was truly an amazing announcement that you can still find on apple.com, or if you have an Apple TV, you can see it there, or on YouTube. It was streamed live. Interestingly, the night before, on September 13th, they came out with an emergency patch, which was 14.8, to prevent hackers from spying in on what you're doing and things like that. So upcoming September 24th, which is today, all of the iPhone products are now available in all the retail stores. So if you went into there right now, you'd be able to see them being demonstrated live. And if you're buying a new phone, I did buy the iPhone 13 Pro Max, 256 gigs. I hope to have it right now, but it should be available this afternoon. And I could talk more about that later. Okay. So I'll repeat again. Please adjust your cameras so you can be viewed at face level at least. And to make yourselves really presentable, if you feel like at any time you're uncomfortable because you need to eat, or you need to drink something, or you feel like you're going to fall asleep.
Barry, you just muted yourself.
Didn't do that. I did. I was trying to admit somebody and somebody beat me to the punch. And the next thing is to mute whoever is next in line.
Okay. What I simply said was to, if you feel uncomfortable in any way being viewed, this is being recorded publicly. It'll be put up on our YouTube channel probably tomorrow. So if you want to make yourself presentable, don't show yourself eating or doing anything else that would prevent you from looking your best. You can always turn off your video at any time you like, and it will not be recorded. Or I should say only audio will be recorded. All right, that being said, Carol, our great vice president, now will take over the meeting and introduce our presenters and much more. So Carol, take it away.
Great, thank you, Barry. Okay, just a second here. All right, so this roundtable today came about because in one of the last two sessions, I don't remember which one, we were talking about emergencies, and somehow we started talking about ways of charging devices. And there seemed to be interest, and we had several people who have had experience with different kinds of devices. So we decided to put together a roundtable and let them actually share some about the devices they have and how they pick them and how they use them and a little bit about them, so that you can see if they appeal to you and you can have some better knowledge and hopefully criteria for selecting any charging device that you might want. So the first presentation we're going to have is, or the first person we'll be talking with is Larry Hirschhorn. And he's going to be talking, there he is with his hand up. He's going to be talking about the kind of power bank devices that he has and giving you both some buying criteria and some information about how they work and how they differ, and also to be answering questions. And he comes with a computer and some engineering background. So, he potentially can answer more of your questions, but ideally we'll keep this at a level that most people can also benefit from the answers. So, you ready to go, Larry?
Ready.
Okay. He says with some degree of enthusiasm. All righty. So we're going to start by looking at some of the criteria that he came up with, or we came up with as we were talking before this presentation. And we're going to go through them relatively quickly. He'll say a little bit now, and then we'll have various additional slides and information that he'll go over to give you more information. So here we go. Okay, so the first one is use. So Larry, you want to say anything about that right now?
Are you going to have the slides?
Yes, I am.
I'm just seeing the video of everybody right now.
You should be able, oh, that's not good. So you should, can everyone else see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Larry, you're going to need.
I don't see the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, it may have to do with the way, so up at the top of the Zoom screen where you see the ways of viewing it, there's a thumbnail, there's a
Oh, right,
speaker
okay.
view, there's a, it's not telling me what the other ones were. And the next one, you want the one that's not the speaker view, so the one that's the next one after that, and hopefully that will allow you to see it. No, okay, well, this is going to be even more interesting. We were talking, it's funny, for any of you strange ones like me, Mercury is retrograde, and for those of us dealing with devices and communication, it often is a good indication that things are going to go wonky, and we've had our share of it. So I'm driving and I'm putting the slides up. We were hoping that Larry would be able to see them, but Larry, you have your own copy. So,
Yes, I have my own copy.
okay. So the first criteria is use. Is there anything you want to say about people selecting based on the kinds of use that they want to make of this power bank?
For usage, it's mostly for mobile devices and small electronics that are coming out these days, like earbuds, what do you call them, AirPods, for the Apple, your smartwatches. And one of the advantages of using these mobile power supplies is that you don't have to be tied into a wall outlet or a cord that's attached to a wall outlet. You can use them wherever you are, just between the device and the battery. Okay, and batteries, next subject would be size. They come in all different sizes. Most of them are about 6 inches long and a half an inch to 1 inch thick. Okay, and they weigh probably somewhere, well, the smallest ones, like one like this, which is about 5 years old and only about, well, I'm not going to get into the capacity of this right now, but it's not very high, but you can keep it in your pocket and it's easy to carry around with you. The video is
Right.
kind of funny.
Well, that's all right. We could see it. So that's the smaller version of what you see off to the right, which is the one he's going to talk about mostly today. That one is about the size of a dollar bill. And it's probably about the weight of a stapler, of a full-size stapler. And, you probably have seen them as small as the size of a cigarette lighter. And,
That would be
Larry,
this.
Larry at some point will talk some about the limitations of devices like that. But right now, this is to have you think about, what am I going to do with it? Am I using it just for emergencies? Am I using it to charge just 1 or 2 devices? Am I trying to charge things, several devices at a time because I've lost power or I'm in a hurry or whatever? And so, and then we've talked about size and weight. Another one is speed, and he's going to talk a good bit more about that. And then there's the question of whether they come with an indicator and whether that indicator is readable or not, so you can tell how much power you're using and how much is left, which can be handy. Price is a big one, and he'll talk some about the differences in price. How many charges you have to be able to get out of it. Is one charge sufficient before you have to recharge the power bank to charge another device? Or does it matter to you to be able to get multiple charges or charge multiple devices? And whether you can fast charge or not. And, as some of you may already realize, because you have them, there are more and more fast charge or supercharged devices coming out. Whether it will operate wirelessly or not, and whether it has USB-C, and then what kind of a wall charger it uses. So those are the criteria that he'll talk a little more about. And this slide, well, there'll be a PowerPoint of all of the slides so that you can come back and look at this again later when you're actually thinking about buying something. So here's the INUE device that is the one that Larry has been using and testing. And Larry, you want to say a little bit about how you came to this device?
Well, I use INUE power cords, and they sent me an email one day and said, we've got a new product and we'd like to offer it to you for testing, and we'll reimburse you, if you write a review. So I said, okay, and they sent it to me. I had to buy it from Amazon along with the power cord, and after a few days, write a nice review for it. Okay, and I found the battery to be very capable. This particular model is not actually released to the public yet. I just found that out. I mean, I have a URL for Amazon where it's offered for sale, but if you search for it on Amazon, you can't find it.
So it's a little bit of a teaser, and we're going to make the URL available to you with the materials and the handouts if you decide you want that. As you can see, this one's a not inexpensive one. It's kind of middle to high end. And Larry will talk a little bit about the differences between the range. And at the very end, we've got a slide showing you a number of different models. But if any of you have looked for power banks before, you've probably noticed that the prices are all over the place. So Larry, I'm going to go to the next slide for you. Okay, which is about advantages and charging 3 devices simultaneously. And then you've got the information about what's built into the device itself.
Okay.
And the fact that, okay, so it may be that I'm going to be giving you this to make it easy. So this is going to let you charge 2 USB-C devices together at the same time. So, this might be a phone and a laptop, or, a phone and headsets, or something else. And they say 99% of power banks with a USB-C input only, or simply one USB-C, which is much more typical, can't do that. So right away, you can see you're getting a benefit of being able to do multiple devices and using the USB-C connector, which he's going to talk more about, which is the coming trend or standard for connectors. And here are some of the kinds of devices that you can actually charge, or ancillary devices that you can charge with it. And you can see, their phones, tablets, earphones, headsets, smartwatches, AirPods, and much more. And then there's some other benefits. And I don't know if you, so Larry, you're not being able to see any of these, right?
Correct. So I don't know where you are in the slides.
Okay, so I'm, and somebody's sound. Bob, can you handle muting people? Dorothy, it's your sound. Okay, there we go.
I know, I've got a phone that hears sound and it all of a sudden talks.
Okay, Bob, can you mute Dorothy? Or Barry? Okay, so one of the benefits, is that it charges iPhones and Samsungs up to 3 times faster with, and that you can charge 50% in just 25 minutes, which is a pretty quick charge. And then they say you don't have to wait in emergencies. You can fully charge the device, that the power bank itself, with 4 times faster than with other power banks, and you can do it in 3 hours. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So again, if you're doing this for emergencies, this is potentially a good expense. And if you're doing it because you've got a whole bunch of devices that you're going to have to be able to charge at once, also a good expense. Okay, so the next one is what it takes to fast charge these. And so if you've got
Yes.
fast, sorry,
Excuse me,
Larry.
yeah. On fast charging, it really depends on both your device that you're charging and the power bank that you're using. Some power banks are actually faster than wall chargers. Most of them are not. Okay, and one of the big factors in the charging is the actual cord that you're using to connect the charger to the device. Okay, some devices, I know iPhones and Samsung Galaxies, they have little computer circuits that control how the battery, how fast the battery gets charged. When, for example, when using an older charger that came into me, by the way, very handy in Hurricane Irma. I was able to charge my phone with the power outage. It only provides a charge that's regular speed, like the same as the wall charger. When I switched to the more powerful, newer ones, okay, it provides the super fast charging to the Samsung Galaxy. I also noticed that a difference in the cords that I use. If I use a simple cheap cord to run between the power bank and the Galaxy, I don't get super fast charging. I just get regular speed charging. So in terms of speed, it all depends on a number of criteria. The charger itself, the power cord that you connect with, and the device that you're connecting to. So that's one of the criteria that you need to look at when deciding which power bank to get.
So Larry,
Yes.
does that mean that you have to have a device that is specified as being capable of super fast charging, the one you're trying to charge?
If you want super fast charging, yes. I mean, both the battery and the device need to have that specification.
So is it a
So-
good idea? Go ahead.
For example, I use little earpods that come in a case like this. Okay, I can use my super fast charger to charge my earbuds. Okay, because the charger in today's technology has circuitry that knows that this doesn't take a lot of power. Okay, and this doesn't supercharge, but this does. But the computer, you know, regulates that. Whereas this charger, okay, doesn't supercharge at all, and will do the same charging to this as the big power bank will. Am I making sense?
It'll do the same charging, being the charging at the
Same charge
lower
speed.
speed.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll take just as long with the little one that has no special things to it. Other than when I originally bought this, it said, don't overcharge it.
Huh.
It was very specific about it, but these devices probably improved a lot since 5 or 6 years ago.
So if people are getting ready to buy a supercharger, is it worth, or buy a charger, is it worth, or power bank, is it worth them getting one that's capable of supercharging at this point, given the way other devices are being upgraded?
Yes, like for me, I have a Samsung Galaxy S21. Okay, and the faster it charges, the happier I am, because I don't have to be tied to a cord or even a wireless charger. But wireless chargers are actually slower than corded chargers. So if my phone is capable of supercharge, I want a power bank that is capable of supercharge.
Did you just say wireless charges are faster than
Slower.
corded? Slower, okay.
Slower, they're only a 15-watt output. Whereas the larger chargers have much higher wattage output.
And as you can see here on this slide, for those of you who can see it, you can see the different wattages for charging either with fast charge or charging with certain devices. And you can see that wattage is what it tells you what the speed is. So the lowest one on this slide is 18 watts for a fast charge with either a Samsung, a Google, or an LG phone. Whereas some of the others, some of the Samsung series go up to 25, and then MacBooks and Dells and things can go up to 30 as a laptop and charge even faster. And then the highest or the fastest is at 65 watts for MacBook Pros and certain Dells and other computers. So you can get some idea of the relative speed that you can get depending on what you're looking to charge. Okay, next one is the charging cord connector types. And the first one is the USB-A type.
Okay, the USB-A is an older standard that has been used mostly for input purposes. When I say input, from one device to another. Okay, from your wall charger, from your mobile charger, from one phone going to another, from your cigarette lighter in a car to your phone. And it's also used as input to computers these days to get data into it, but not used for charging at all, or that I'm aware of. That's the USB-A standard. It's also, when it comes to data, got different levels of standard. There's 2.0, which has been in use for most of the time, and now currently we're at 3.0, okay, which can handle faster data transfers and higher charge rates.
And this should look very familiar to everybody because this is probably what most of us have been using for a very long time. Okay, here's the next one, USB-C, which you've probably been hearing a lot about lately.
C is the latest standard. And again, standards are evolving over time. 3.0 is common today, and then there's 3.1, and in development there's 4. The thing about C is that it's like a universal cable. It can take data and it can take power and go in either direction. And the plug itself, okay, is bidirectional. In other words, you don't have to have, it doesn't matter which way you have it turned. You know, there's an upside and a downside on the older USB standard connectors, but on the USB-C, it doesn't matter which way you turn it. It just plugs in. As you can see, it's got rounded edges on it. Carol, you're not showing the other connectors, are you?
No, not yet there. I just put up the micro
Okay.
USB.
You'll
And
see that the other connectors, including the USB-A, have to be plugged in a certain way. Okay, you can't turn it upside down and plug it in. Whereas the C cable, you can turn it upside down, right side up. There is no upside down, right side up.
it's one of the
Same thing with the
reasons.
lightning. connectors, although I've seen some lightning connectors that are dual-sided and others say, you know, only put this side up or only put this side down.
And for those of you with Apple phones and for iPhones and some other devices also, you probably have these lightning cables. Barry, did you have a question?
No, that was just a miscue. I removed it.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Larry, you want to say about this?
Just a caveat on the cords themselves. Some of the chargers can take a higher wattage current going through it. And you got to be careful with the cable that you're actually using because it can overheat the cable and cause problems. So you need to look at the specifications. I'm going to show you something here. This is an EU cable box. Wow, it disappears when I look at the camera.
Hold it in front of your face. There you go. Okay.
The cable itself in this package is a USB-C, which is a cable, is a USB-A to a USB-C. Okay, and this can carry 30 watts of power. Okay, another cable from them is a USB-C to USB-C. Okay, and this cable can handle 100 watts of power flowing through it. So a charger that puts out 65 watts would handle this cable very good. But a cheap cable, you know, that costs you $3, $5, $10 or whatever, may not be able to handle the higher wattage outputs. So you need to be careful in that arena.
So this is, you know, a really good caution. I mean, we're talking about the wattage of the phone that it can accept. We're talking about the wattage of the power bank that it can put out. And we're talking about the wattage of the cable, which may or may not come with the power bank, and what it can carry. And if you buy an expensive power bank and a cheap cable, you can really be in trouble. And what will that do to your phone or whatever you're charging?
Well, it could cause a fire. It'll, you know, it overheats. The cable overheats, or the charger overheats, or maybe the insulation starts burning on the cable.
So
Yeah.
hopefully this has sensitized you to being really careful about your choice of cables.
I would recommend not going for the cheapest cables you could find, but going for more capable cables, even if they're more capable than what your actual needs are. They will last longer. They are physically stronger. They have more wires internally. And it's just, well, you get what you pay for, really.
And aside from price, is there any other way to tell? Are there any good brands that they should look for or bad ones to stay away from?
I've never been very much into brands until just recently, when I've tried these EU cables and another one called Anker, A-N-C.
A-N-K-E-R.
A-M, no, I don't think there's a K in the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But I got 60-watt cables from them because what I like on the end of the cable is a L-shaped connector. In other words, it comes down like this rather than straight in like that, because it's more convenient if you're holding a device closer to you rather than having it out there. I don't know if you can see me.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so like with this kind of cable, with this kind of connector, your device has to be further away from you. Whereas with an L-shaped connector on the end, you could bring it in closer, you know, depending on your eyesight and how you feel about the way you're using your device. One other thing about cables, I recommend staying 6 feet and under. Okay, there is something in the length of the cable called resistance. The longer the electricity flows through the cable, the more resistance there is. So the less power gets to the receiving end. Okay, so in other words, if you take, you know, the power charger, you take any charger, and you plug in a 3-foot cable to your phone, you're gonna charge faster than if you plug in a 6-foot cable or a 10-foot cable.
Great.
Making sense?
Yep, thanks. Okay, I'm going to move us on to the to another option, which is, whoops, I thought I took that out. There we go. Which is made by the same manufacturer, but is a lesser amperage. It's 1,000 milliamps, and
10,000.
sorry,
10,000.
10,000, just kidding. And here are some of the features about it. And it retails for just about $20, which is, you know, a much more likely kind of purchase for many of us probably. So here are a couple of things about it. You know, we were talking about wattage, and the one we had looked at a few minutes ago was 65 watts, very speedy. This one is 22.5 watts. And it supports still all the mainstream fast charging protocols that'll let you charge all devices in the, you know, fully charge them in the shortest time possible. And it, like we were talking about earlier, charges AirPods and smartwatches and Bluetooth and other things. And let's see, I'm going to move this out of the way. Sorry.
This is a much more practical charger for most people because of its portability. Okay, in emergency situations, it might be good to have 2 of these. Okay, or one of the bigger, more powerful ones, so you get more charges out of it. But this will fit in your purse or your pocket. You can carry it with you if you go on a picnic. You know, put it in your basket. It's because it's not very heavy. Okay.
And it has, like the other one, a 3-year warranty and lifetime technical support. And do you want to say anything about your experience with that?
So far, you know, I haven't had a need for the warranty or anything like that. The fact that it offers a warranty for that long is an indication of the quality of the product that you're buying.
And quite unusual.
Warranties are very short, you know, 6 months, maybe a year. And they, I think they have some of their products a lifetime warranty. So.
Okay. And so here's a screen with the descriptions of the 2 products. And I'm going to not belabor this unless there's, I mean, you can see that the more expensive one that we were talking about has 3 outputs, and the lesser one only has 1 USB-C output. And then, of course, it's much lighter and it's much smaller.
Caveat
Yeah.
on the number of outputs.
Mhm.
In NEU, okay, these outputs are not shared. On some of the cheaper power banks, okay, they might say, you can charge two things at once, but the output amperage is shared. So if they say it's 5 amps output, you're actually getting 2.5 for each port on the
And-
charger. So be careful of that.
And what's the difference? What's the impact of amps? We talked about watts being speed. What does amps give you?
Oh, I'm not going to get into that because that is the physics of electronics, of electricity.
Well, just
The things that we need
yeah.
to be concerned with are the milliamp hours capability of both the battery itself and your telephone. Your telephone or mobile device is rated in milliamp hours. I believe Apple's are also. I know Samsung definitely is. And most of the chargers, when you look at the ads, you will see milliamp hours.
So this is how long the battery is going to last or stay charged? Is that what it is?
Capacity of the battery.
Okay.
Electricity is a very convoluted subject. There's amps, there's watts, there's milliamps.
Yeah, we don't need to go there.
There's ohms. Ohms is resistance. I called it resistance when I talked about the wires. So be aware that a 10,000 milliamp hour battery may only charge your phone once if your phone, let's say, has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, because there are other factors and here again, the physics of the situation, even so far as temperature goes, it affects the flow of electricity. So the big power bank that we showed in the beginning, the 25,000 watt, I found that my phone, okay, has a 4,800 milliamp hour battery. Okay, the charger puts out a total of 25,000 milliamp hours. So you would think that if you divide 5 into 25, I could charge my phone 5 times. Okay, but that's not the case. I run my phone on a 80%, 20% charge cycle. So what I'm saying is that when my battery reaches 20% capacity, I plug it into the charger. When the battery reaches 80% capacity on being charged, I unplug it from the charger. And in this case, and I've tested it with the power bank, I only get about 3.5 charges to my phone.
And there's a slide up here for the 10,000 milliamp hour power bank. That's the $20 one that shows you how many approximate charges you get for each of the different kinds of equipment. A little under 2.5 for an iPhone 12, up to 12.5 charges for AirPod Pro charges. So that's a good thing to refer back to too, or to keep in mind when you're looking to buy. Okay, this is the last slide for talking about the comparison of the different kinds of power banks. These are, this is the kind of thing that you typically see on Amazon, showing comparisons, and you can see the range in prices. And this does not have the one that Larry has been talking about because it's not available in the same way. But you can see the differences, not only in price, but in the kinds of connectors that it will work with. You can see that some, like this $27 one, will work with a lightning cord also. So, you know, it's a good idea, as we've talked about many times, to look at Amazon particularly and look at the comparisons between different products and the reviews about them. Okay, Roz had a question.
Well, actually,
I have a caveat on all of this. The manufacturers put in that it works with a PD or a PC or a QC4 and all these different standards that the phones have. Okay, for the most part, they all actually are interchangeable, and it just depends on the connector that you have. I mean, if you buy a power bank that says it's for an Apple, okay, it'll work on a Samsung. It just might work at different rates of charge.
actually, I finished, put the other class on hold for a second. I had a comment here real quickly if
Go ahead.
you're open for it. Yeah, on the, there was an iSmart rating on some of the batteries there. And I don't know if you covered that or not, but that keeps, when you're charging more than one device, it keeps it constant across so that it's not fluctuating back and forth. And that was one of the other reasons I picked that particular battery set.
Great, thank you, Don.
Yes, welcome.
Okay, any other questions for Larry before we move on? All righty.
Thanks,
Lorraine.
Larry. Excellent.
Thank you.
Great job, Larry.
Thanks.
Yeah. And so Miss Lorraine is going to give us a little bit of a change of pace and share with us some of the charging devices that she's used. These are ones that, you know, she has both in her home and in her car. And are you strictly iDevices, Lorraine?
No, I do use my laptop, which is a Microsoft operating system.
Okay. Okie dokie. So we're going to start with your car charger. So this is a picture on the left. This is actually in your car, right?
That is correct. That is in my car.
And this is from, on the right side is the description from Amazon. And we'll have the links to all of these things in the notes. So do you want to tell us some about this device and how and why you picked it?
Yes. Initially, a criteria that was important to me was that I would not have to connect to a cable. So this device, this charger connects, it basically does it wirelessly. So this device is, and the other important thing to me was the ability to get my phone without having to open it, close it, or whatever you have to do to grab your phone from the holder. So this device, just by putting my hand in front of it or in the back of it, will open up the bottom and the two sides holding the phone to release the phone without it falling. And the same thing, if I want to put my phone in that charger, again, I don't have to press anything. I just put my hand in front of it. It will open the sides, open the bottom to let me put my phone in it. So those are some of the functionality that I liked about this charger. So the fact that there's no cable and easy to release or put my phone into it. The third criteria, which was unique to my car, I guess, was that I have no place in my car to put a holder. Obviously, I didn't want to put on my dash because I don't want to damage the dash. Usually you can put it on your air conditioning fans or those types of things. I cannot because mine are round, so it won't fit. So my only option was to have a coffee holder type
Cup
charger.
holder. Mhm.
Correct. The other thing that I liked about it was that it has a gooseneck, so I can adjust it to whatever. If I'm, I can turn it around if I'm using MapQuest or a GPS on my phone. I can turn it around and see it horizontally, or on my everyday use. If I don't use the GPS, then I want to use it obviously vertically. So I can do both, and the gooseneck you adjust to whatever height you need to adjust for a better view without disturbing your view driving. So those were some of the items that I liked about that. So as I said, it has an automatic infrared smart center for the clamping, so it opens automatically. Also, the other thing which is important to newer phones, it has the QI, it's certified compatible. So this is something important when you're looking at a charger. You want it to be QI certified. And it is for the Apple, and it is also for the Samsung Galaxy. It is also quite fast charger. It's a 15-watt charger. So it's probably, I would say, not half, but close to half the speed faster than a regular charger. And the nice thing about it is if you have an older phone or an older device, well, it has to be a phone, obviously, but an older device, it will adjust to the watts that your device requires. And it will also stop charging your device if your device is full. So it will avoid the overeating and possibly, as Larry shared with you, possibly fire. So that is something that I think is critical when you're choosing a charger for your phone. And there's a little light indicating if it's charging or not. When you buy this charger, there's all kinds of adapters that come with it. It is now available also with the MagSafe from Apple. So people that, have the newer phone with this charging MagSafe, then obviously you could use this charger also. So basically those were the why I bought this, all the benefits that I found in this charger. The other thing that you may notice on the right side of this slide is that it adjusts to your cup holder size. So just by turning the bottom, it will adjust to whatever size your cup holder is in your car. So that's also another important thing, obviously, because some cars have a pretty large cup holder. I purchased this, as you probably noticed, I have an iPhone. All of my devices are iPad, iPhone, are all Apple, except for my laptop being a Microsoft. I presently have an iPhone 12 Pro. I use my phone for everything that can be done on this phone, whether it's email, obviously, texting, and all of those things. But I use it quite a bit for my GPS because I like one of the specific applications that I use anywhere I travel in the world for GPS. And so I use my phone quite a bit also for GPS, even though my car does have a GPS, but it's not, I think, as good as the one I have on my phone. And my phone is basically my life. So like everybody, like most of us, I guess, our phone is so important to us. So having it always charge is critical to me, so I can access my contacts and whatever is important to me. Although I do not do any transaction on it because I don't feel very secure in doing so. So so that's basically in terms of my phone and the reason why I bought this charger for my car.
Lorraine, how much is that?
This I purchased, let me see now, I purchased that in 220 March, so that's not very old, and I purchased it for about $36, $37.
Okay, folks, you'll find that on Amazon. Just look
I
at
did
it.
purchase it, correct. I did purchase this on Amazon, yes.
And we'll have the links in the handouts.
Okay, very
So,
well.
great. And, you know, so one of the other things, again, to bear in mind about car chargers is that they're not only handy for when you're on the road and, you know, and need to have your phone still working, but they're very, very helpful in an emergency when your car charging may be the only way you have to charge your devices.
And
Yes.
one other thing,
Absolutely.
Lorraine, I
Or your
think you have
portable,
to,
or your portable battery.
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Barry?
Of course, you want to watch the temperature in your car as well. And don't leave it directly in the sun, that could overheat it. Is that accurate?
Well, actually, if the phone is not in it, no. I mean, there's no, it's not charging, it's not, you know, there is an infrared on this thing that it will automatically recognize if the phone or if your hand or something is in that cradle. So no, there's no danger for fire if nothing is in the cradle. Yes.
So any questions, any other questions or comments for Lorraine before she goes to a second device?
So the cord comes out of the cradle and goes into your car.
Correct.
port? Okay.
Correct. It connects to a USB in my car. I do not have in my car a lighter connection. And I don't know if the newer car, I probably don't have a lighter connector anyways. So my car does not have a lighter connector, so that was not an option for me. So yes, I do have 3 USB connectors in the car. So that is connected to a USB port in my car.
How many USB ports do you have?
In my car,
One?
I have 3 USB ports in my car.
2.
No,
Oh,
3,
3.
3, correct. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to look at one other device that Lorraine brought. And this is her bedside phone charger. So Lorraine,
Okay. Well, first of all, I forgot, but I want to thank you, Carol, and you, Barry, to invite me to share on those things that I use to help me in my day-to-day using my iPhone. So thank you so much, both of you. In regards to the charger on my bedside, first of all, when you look at the product itself, RAV Power, RAV Power is, in my opinion, a very good quality charger. And they also have a variety of charger. They have some as small as a cigarette lighter and some very large solar, which I also have in case we don't have power. I very much like that company. But going back to the charger in my room. So obviously you have an option of just using your cable and putting it through the electricity port in your room so it can charge overnight. But in my case, I didn't want to use a cable anymore. I didn't want to be bothered with, again, connecting my phone to a cable. And a lot of those chargers were something that you put your phone on the horizontal, which I did not want. I want to view my screen as I'm in the bed without touching the phone. So example, in the morning, I can be in my bed and say, Siri, what time is it? And the phone will automatically, without even touching, or me without even moving from my spot in my bed, the phone will automatically give me the time. So the screen will light up and give me the time. So, so that was an element of why a stand versus a something you just deposit your phone on it was important to me. So I chose this RAV Power again for the reasons I mentioned before. Also, when I looked at the reviews, they were very, very good, and because there was no cable. This particular model does not exist anymore, but there are newer models that are much more powerful in terms of speed, because this one is a very slow one. It's 7.5 watts, which I don't really care because, again, I just put on that stand at night when I go to bed, and it will charge if my phone needs to be charged. It will stop automatically if my phone is full. So it will not, again, overheat. There's no danger for fire. It is the same as my car. It is a QI certified, so compatible with the Apple and the Samsung Galaxy. When you look at this product, there are, as I said, newer models. The newer model gives you the opportunity to charge your AirPods and your Apple Watch on the same stand. So that makes it very interesting because you can have this stand, not a pad. You can have this stand at your bedside. You can put your watch on the top, and you can put your AirPods in the back and your phone in the front, like I do, and it will charge those three items automatically, simultaneously.
Wow.
So, so again, in the new model are obviously 15 watts. Again, as I said, it will avoid overeating because it will interrupt charging if my phone doesn't need it. There's also at the bottom of this charger a small light, which we don't see now because it's not connected. And that light is an indicator. Actually, a little bit lower than that, Carol. Yes, exactly, right there. So there is a light there that indicates if it is charging. So if it is charging, it's a very, very dim, so it doesn't disturb you while you sleep. Very dim blue light telling you, and it's flashing slowly, telling you that basically it's charging. If it is fully charged, it will just light blue, and it will stay blue, very, very low dimmed blue. So that tells you that your devices, or device in my case, is fully charged. So this is why I chose this one, because of the quality of the RAV Power products. And because to me, it was important to have a stand versus a pad, because I wanted to view my screen without having to touch my phone. So those are basically the two products I wanted to discuss this morning with you. If I may, Carol, I have a third product that I would like to share.
Okay.
And thank you. This one.
Do you want me to let you share your screen?
No, because I
Okay.
just have it on paper. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm a paper person. I'm terrible. This one is a charge card, which is very interesting because it goes with what Larry was saying. You know, you're moving around, you're shopping, whatever, and first thing you know, your phone is out of charge. Well, you're out of business. So you have those small charger that Larry presented to you. Well, now there is on the market, it's called Charge Card. It is big as a credit card. It will fit in your a wallet in a you know, where your little pockets for credit cards are. It will fit there. It is a 15-watt charger. It is maybe a little bit pricey. it's $59. But to me, it's the practicality that I have it in my wallet as a credit card. And so if I'm on the go and I notice that my phone is low on charge, I just connect it to my phone and it rapidly charges it. And it's from AquaVault, AQUAVAULT, and it's called Charge Card.
Can you spell it again?
Yeah, certainly. AQUA, V like in Victor, AULT, Charge Card. It sells for about $60.
And you just slide, how does it get into your phone?
Oh, it has a little connector, so you can put your lightning cable from your phone into it.
Okay.
Yes. And that when you buy this for $60, there's 3 cables that come with it. The USB-C for the Android phone, the Lightning for your iPhone, or a micro USB if you want to use it on other electronics. So it could charge other electronics that you may have in your purse or in your pocket. So that makes it very interesting. And as I say, it's the size of a credit card. So it fits in your pocket, fits in your wallet. And it's very fast charging. So that was the other product that I wanted to share with the group that I like very much.
Great, Lorraine. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Is there any questions for me?
Carol is now
Yes.
showing you on the screen there.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I'm trying. We'll see.
Okay.
Do all,
Here you go. You see it? Right there, right there, right there. Yes.
do all Apple phones have a automatic turn off of chargers or disconnect from chargers? If
Yes,
the-
yes. All the newer phone, they do have, they will stop automatically if the charge is full. Yes, you are correct.
at 100%.
Yes. Well, whatever the battery, capacity, because as you know, the battery, when you buy it new, it's 100%, but, with time, it may charge only up to 80%. So whatever the capacity of your battery, it will charge up to that.
I know there's been an issue that I've seen in the past about Apple phones, the batteries getting weaker and weaker, and Apple covering up, looking for also for battery replacement sales. The science of the batteries, though, is really what I'm thinking
This is
about.
this is it, Carol. This is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yep. Yep.
As I mentioned earlier, I keep my phone on an 80-20 charge cycle, and that's because of the science of the battery technology. And that's why I'm asking, if it shuts off at 100% or maybe 80%.
Larry, I can answer that. The iPhones have something, and probably the iPads, have something called low power mode. If that is enabled in the settings, it will automatically, when it reaches 20%, you'll see a red box in the upper right-hand corner, which is your warning that the iPhone is below and will soon turn off if it reaches much below 10%. Now, once the low power mode is on, it switches off a lot of the functions of the phone that would normally eat the battery. And it will turn itself off when it reaches that 80% mark, usually. So you could charge it up from there to 100 and let it drop all the way down to 20 or 40 before you charge it up again. That will give you the maximum battery life. You can also check that in the battery settings under the battery health app. There is a setting on all of the iPhones and iPads for battery. and you look at the health there, and it will tell you the amount of times it was charged. And there are ways to determine also how much is really remaining on the in the battery. And that's going to degrade over years. The one I'm trading in has 87% capacity. I use a diagnostic to test it, and it's only 80%. They say if it drops to 80% or below, you should immediately replace the battery in the phone.
If I just may add
Lorraine?
some, I would like to add something. The last product that I presented or that I talked about, the AquaVault, I think it's a great idea for Christmas gifts.
Mhm.
And I think that if you wish to purchase it, although it's a little bit pricey, if you do the purchase today, GMA was announcing 50% off. So
Lorraine, where can you, how do you buy, where do you buy it from?
I've got
Well,
the
you-
website, sorry.
yeah, I bought it directly from AquaVault, and the first one that I got. And this morning, to my surprise, because here we are talking about charging our phones, at GMA, they were presenting it at 50% off. So I went right online and I ordered all of my Christmas gifts, giving
Wow.
that, because it's so practical.
What?
And
I'm having
50%.
I'm having difficulty picturing when charging it into a phone. What you gave, I asked you that before, but it's not clicking.
Can-
How does it, you charge, you don't need your charger for it, is that correct?
No, actually, Carol, you showed a picture before.
Right.
It comes with a very tiny cable. Here you go, you see it right there. So the credit card size, if you can raise a little bit that picture. Yes, so you see the credit card, so that's in your wallet. Now you need to charge now. Let's assume you need it. So you release it from your wallet, obviously.
Right.
And then you see that little square on the corner? Yes, exactly. So that is attached to your cable.
Okay.
That's probably in your wallet also, because it's so tiny. So that you attach it to the corner of the credit card and then into your iPhone or Samsung phone to charge.
I have an iPhone. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
okay.
And it says that, which is what I was looking for earlier. Sorry, I'm flipping around. It says that it's available for both Apple and Android.
Correct.
Now, where is the web? There's a
So
website?
if you want to buy it today, go on Good Morning America website, go on deals, and it will show that product at 50% off.
Okay, well,
Great tip.
what if I want to do it another day? I'm willing to forego the 50% discount.
Yeah, then you just go on their website and you order it, from their website. That sounds-
GMA.
No. You go on the AquaVault website,
Yes.
and if you look at your screen, I've displayed the page and you can see the address. I'll copy it and put it in the chat also.
Now, Carol, maybe, and I don't know, I haven't checked that, but maybe it's also available on Amazon. Again, I didn't check Amazon. I bought it directly from AquaVault. But this morning, when I saw that deal, I said, oh my God, Christmas gifts. And so I went on the GMA website, and from the GMA website, you can then purchase it at 50% off.
Great. So
Okay, Carol, did you just have that down? Could you put that up again?
I
just had it.
Yeah, if you look at you should be able to see the whole screen showing the tabs up here that I have open. So here's the second tab for charge card, and here is the URL itself. And I've copied it and put it into the chat also.
I'm sure you could just Google that, Ken, and just
Right,
put in Apple Aqueduct.
AquaVault.
Google.
Oh, yeah. AquaVault.
Yeah,
So
just Google AquaVault. That's how I found it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
Quick
yeah, go ahead.
question.
Martha?
How does this little charge card get itself charged?
When you do buy it, they send you not only all the cables, for a Samsung or an Android, I should say, or an Apple, but they also give you the electric cable so that you can charge it from your wall outlet from your house or wherever you are. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay,
All right, so we had hoped to be able to do Don's presentation, but I don't think there's really enough time to do that right now and give it adequate attention. So Don, I know you aren't here with us right now. We'll look to,
We are here.
oh, you are.
okay. We'll postpone this to a later date.
That'd be fine.
And I'm displaying now what comes in the package. If you are looking at your screen, you can see what I'm sharing.
And
And,
Carol,
yeah.
I'm sorry. If you go to GMA Deals and Steals September 24th, if you type that in your Google, you will see that product at 50% off.
GMA Deals and Steals.
Correct, September 24th, which is today.
.com.
It was showing up as one of your choices.
No.
No.
Mm-mm. That's
No,
not
are
it.
you? No,
It's
No,
pulling up.
don't do the www. Just do on your Google search, GMA space, deals space, and space, steals space, September 24th.
Got it.
Mhm.
Got it? And it will give it to you, for those of you who want to purchase it today.
There's one of your choices there, September
Yeah,
24th
yeah.
in the list.
Yep,
Mhm.
okay. Is that
Okay.
it? Yeah.
And scroll down, scroll down. Scroll Here
There,
you go, here you go. And
okay,
look at the price. It's 50% off today.
awesome.
$30, yeah.
Yep. Very good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thanks to both of you. That was a real find for us to have our members be able to share such wonderful stuff. So-
Okay, so we can unshare now and go back
Yep,
to our meeting so I can close it
Yep,
for us. I'll tell you, for me, it's always an extremely satisfying experience to have our own members step up to the plate. Like the late Alex Trebek always said about Jeopardy, which I know we've all watched continuously. It's not about the host, it's about the contestants. And you are the stars of the show. Again, thanks to Larry and Lorraine, and also to Don for having submitted something that we will show at a later date.
Sounds good.
So our next presentation will be 2 weeks from today, which is October 8th. And at that time, Bob Gastisha will be giving you an update on his excellent "Is Cybersecurity Really Safe?" It's already posted on the club site, and I will post a link over there as well that Bob had sent me a while ago that gives all the information that he will be presenting. So we certainly do look forward to that. And by the way, October is traditionally Cybersecurity Month. Is that correct, Bob?
That's correct. That's why during October, I currently have about 30 presentations scheduled because it is Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Okay, and Bob, before we close, could you just give me a brief information on Windows 11 for anyone that's interested? We had a question from Pete Zambito about
Windows
compatibility.
11, yeah, Windows 11 is slated to be released or start to be released October the 5th. Now, a couple of things to remember. Windows 11 doesn't mean that you have to update Windows 10. Windows 10 will still be fully supported and updated with all of the necessary updates through October of 2025. If you want to use the new operating system, and if your computer is capable of running it, then of course you can go ahead and do an update or an upgrade. But if you're not comfortable, because there is a learning curve, every time we have one of these major updates, things change. And there are changes between 10 and 11. And as I said, 10 isn't going anywhere. 10 is still going to be there. It is still fully supported. So just because something new comes out doesn't necessarily mean you have to hurry up and jump over. I'm a Microsoft insider, so I've actually been running Windows 11 for quite a few months now. But I'm one of those people that likes new things and experiment with new things, and I'm not afraid of changes. That's not the same for everybody. And especially in our age group, we get comfortable with an operating system, and there is no reason to have to jump over to the new one and start learning all over again. By the time 2025 comes around, if you are still lucky enough to be here, it'll be time for a new computer anyway. And when that new computer is purchased, it will come with Windows 11, unless by then they've already come out with Windows 12. Originally, it was said Windows 10 is going to be the last time you'll have to change, and it'll always be Windows 10. Well, it didn't stay that way. And since it's no longer Windows 10 is your last operating system, there's nothing that says that Windows 11 will be your last operating system.
Bob, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So it's time to sign off for this meeting. I wish everybody continued good health and be safe. Remember, the most important morning is the one you wake up on. So let's be very mindful that we have a great camaraderie here with everybody. I hope that we'll be getting some news about live classes, but that's really not in the cards at the moment. So do remember, though, that this 2-week or this bi-weekly schedule, with the exception of a Friday with 5 Mondays in it, will continue even when live classes resume. So it will be half as many classes as we've done, which will certainly be okay with me, because I used to have to do most of them. And now I am very appreciative of Carol's support. Are you still there? Okay, she had to leave. So I'm very appreciative of everybody's support. I love you all. If I didn't get a chance to say that, let me say it collectively, and wish you all the best in the next 2 weeks. Remember, sign-in time is between 9:30 and 10, and 10 o'clock is our starting time. So wave goodbye to everyone as we end this meeting. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.
So long.
See you next
Bye-bye.
month.
Look, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.